Hey, everybody, and welcome to Making Finances Sexy. I'm Jessica Lay, your Rent Rave owned realtor and certified instructor with the company 101 Financial right here in the Valley of the Sun. It is my mission to help you transition from renting to homeownership. No matter your situation, I'm here to be your personal finance coach and first-time home buyer specialist.
Yes.
And with me is Rose.
Hey guys, it's me, Rose Short, aka the Red Queen. I'm a realtor here in the Phoenix Valley as well. I'm also CEO of Chronic Luxury and a financial consultant. It is my mission to help you build multiple income streams, fire your boss, live your dream lifestyle, say goodbye to conventional jobs, and just have fun.
Yeah, we all want to have fun. Fun is sexy.
Yes. We all want time freedom. Time freedom is sexy.
Yes. And today I'm excited to get into should you rent or own your home? So we're going to evaluate the options and find your ideal home hopefully today.
Yes, one of the things that always drives me nuts when people talk about interest rates is when you are renting, you are paying 100% interest because you are not building any equity. You are not building your future. You are funding someone else.
Exactly. There are certain situations where people are better off renting, but in my opinion, owning a home should be everyone's ultimate goal because it is such a good way to protect your money and build some wealth over time.
Yeah, even with the ups and downs in the real estate market that we've seen over the last 30 to 40 years, it's still one of the best ways to build wealth and especially generational.
Yep. So we'll get right into it. Some pros and cons. So renting offers more flexibility to move and change locations, which may be important to those of you with uncertain job positions or the desire to travel. Buying a home typically requires a longer term commitment, which may not align with shifting lifestyles.
Yeah, one of the reasons I rented for so long was because I didn't live anywhere longer than 2 years, and it just seemed stupid to buy and then sell, then buy, then sell, then buy, then sell.
Yeah, exactly. And then another pro of renting, the landlord is responsible for most of the maintenance and repairs, but homeownership, of course, comes with the burden of managing when things break or aren't working right. You have to hire the professionals to come in and fix it yourself.
Yeah.
So some people out there may prefer the convenience of not having to deal with it themselves, but I just bought a house. It needs some work, and I'm actually really excited that I'm learning new skills myself and making
Yeah.
the house the way I want it.
Right. Well, I think that's something that people need to remember too when they're complaining about landlords raising the prices and stuff like that. Like, yeah, some landlords raise the price just because they could. And yeah, their mortgage didn't go up, but the cost of repairs has, and the cost of labor for repairs has. And so a lot of the like rental increases are because they're taking whatever's not going to the mortgage and they're putting it into a if something breaks fund. And so that's important to keep in mind when you are paying rent. Again, I know it sucks, especially with how many landlords just jack the prices just because they could. But bear in mind there are things that landlords do deal with that like you as the renter do not have to.
Yeah. And renting, it in a sense involves less financial risk, but getting into rentals is a lot more money up front these days, it seems like, because you're paying first, last, security deposit, like at the end of it, 4 to 8 grand, I guess, just to get into the house. That money actually could have been like a down payment almost on like a condo or townhome.
Yeah.
Um, like you got to think about it that way. But buying a home does require a higher upfront investment and your willingness to accept the risks and responsibilities that come with home ownership. So things to think about there.
Yeah, it used to be that, if you had bad credit, you were renting, and now renters, they can turn you away for bad credit, which I think is just insane. But so it's kind of becoming our generation likes to complain about not being able to buy a house, but actually we're kind of in the perfect parameters for home ownership because you're already doing the things necessary to buy a home. You just don't realize it.
Yeah, exactly. Since I love finances, some financial considerations for renting. You need to think about the monthly rent payments. This is the primary obligation when renting a property, obviously. It also can't go up on you each year. You're not locked into a rate like you would be with your mortgage. So that's a big thing that I was getting sick of with renting because it seemed like they raised my rent every year.
Mhm.
And
Didn't do any improvements, just raised it to raise it.
yeah, and like for people, when you're working 9 to 5, did your paycheck get more too? Not
Yeah, exactly.
always. Rent went up, but not my paycheck.
Yep.
And then, like I mentioned earlier, the security deposits. Renters typically need to pay the security deposit, which is often equal to 1 to 2 months rent when they're signing the lease. Utility costs, you got to think about when you own or rent. Typically, some rentals may include it with the whole rental cost, but for the most part, it seems that you gotta pay for utilities, which
Yeah.
is electricity, gas, if there's gas, water, internet, um, those things. And then also, I I don't think I don't think I've ever paid for renter's insurance, but I know that is kind of a important thing to get when you're renting. It protects your personal belongings. I guess I did a gamble when I was renting and didn't get the renter's insurance, but I believe it's not too expensive. It's like $50 extra or something for renter's insurance.
Yeah, and a lot of times you can bundle it. Like I think I had it in Colorado. I don't remember. I think there was some kind of parameter involved where I had to have it. It might have been because I bought a new car. I don't remember. But I was able to bundle it with my car insurance. And so it really wasn't, I think it was like $12 a month.
Nice. Yeah, so look
Yeah.
into renter's insurance. It's pretty good thing to get if you are renting or if you don't have it
Yeah.
right now, like look into it.
Yeah. Especially if, you have like some high end themes, right? So maybe like, so for us, it's like cycling. We cycle all the time. And so we have a fair amount of bicycles and a couple of them are pretty expensive. So if you have things in your home that are very valuable that you're renting, it's just worth it for the peace of mind of just in case something happens.
Yeah, totally. So the financial considerations for buying, we're looking at down payment. When you're purchasing a home, buyers need to make a down payment, which can range from 3% to 20%. So again, a lot more money upfront when purchasing compared to renting. And then your monthly mortgage payment, which can be pretty similar to your rent payment amount, sometimes more, sometimes less. Mortgage rates, loan term, and your home's purchase price will all impact the monthly payment in there. You need your closing costs. So that includes fees for the loan application, appraisal. You need to pay the title company for the title search and other services. Our closing costs typically range from 2 to 5% of the home's purchase price. And then, like we mentioned earlier, maintenance and repairs. You're a homeowner now, so you're responsible for all of that, which can be costly over time. But if you're budgeting properly and managing your money, effectively to, you know, have your emergency fund set aside, things like that, then maintenance and repairs aren't really a huge deal.
Yeah, especially if you have a home warranty and you renew the home warranty. So the home warranty is gonna cost you about 650 to 700 a year. But you know, if your AC breaks, it's a one-time fee of $75 for them to come out and look at it. And as long as you've had proper maintenance and everything, they're gonna replace it for free. And that's usually a $4,000 to $8,000 expense. So it can be worth it depending on the age of the stuff in your home. Obviously, if it's a brand new home, I wouldn't necessarily recommend a home warranty. But if it's, you know, a 30 or 40-year-old home, the air conditioner is 20 to 30 years old, probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I love my home warranty. I've called them a couple times already and super simple. They just send somebody out, pay this 75. I pay $100 because I'm kind of out here, which
Fair.
still isn't bad. And we've already had some things fixed under warranty, just paid $100. So yeah, very
Nice.
good point. And then property taxes and HOA fees, if there are any, you got to pay property taxes, which it varies significantly on like the location and the home's value. So I don't have like an estimated cost for your property taxes. And then HOA fees, homeowners association, which covers shared community expenses if your house has that. They don't all have
Yeah.
HOAs, but
One thing about HOA fees too, though, is sometimes even as a renter, you do have to pay those if it's in your contract with your landlord. And sometimes if the landlord gets a nasty around because you're not maintaining the yard or anything like that, the HOA is going to fine you, but then the landlord could also fine you if it's within the parameters of your contract. So make sure if you're renting with an HOA, you're looking into exactly what your landlord's expectations are.
yeah, HOA used to drive me crazy at my rental. Like they were over the top, like
Yeah.
taking pictures of a couple weeds
Yep.
or a car parked on the street overnight. Oh man.
Yep.
So
They can be
definitely,
bad.
yeah, so definitely pay attention when you're like if you're looking to buy a house and you notice HOA, I would definitely read up on their laws and requirements before you make your
Yeah.
decision.
Your realtor will most likely refer to them as the CC&Rs. It's basically all the rules within. So I know there's some things that the HOA can't stop. So like solar panels on your roof, you do have to at least let them know that you're doing it and do the whole I think it's architectural update form or something like that. But if it's solar, they actually legally cannot deny it. But they can deny things like, you know, I want to put a shed in my front yard. Like they can deny that. So just make sure that you're paying attention to everything in them. Like here in Phoenix, it's a problem where a lot of the older communities have RV gates, but in the CCNRs, you're not allowed to park an RV in there.
Oh yeah, I think I have seen that. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
ridiculous.
so yeah, and pay attention like certain areas, the building codes and stuff like that, like whatever you are wanting to utilize your property for, just do your research. And
Yeah.
but so that's a great thing about like buying a house is you have so much more freedom to do what you want and like decorate how you want, you know, build a deck, do what like renting. I wasn't really motivated to do anything like even decorate inside that much because I was just like I'm gonna move. Like,
Yep.
so it's kind of nice to grow some roots and it feels really really great too.
Yeah. For us, it was more, we knew it was our forever home, but we could have dogs, you know? And so like, if you're a dog lover, especially a big dog lover, well, and you know this too, because you've got bully breeds and there's still a lot of stigma and just stupid rules being passed about bully breeds.
Yeah.
You know, renters or rentals can absolutely say no dogs. They can charge really high pet fees for if you do have dogs. Or they can ban certain breeds. And that's something to be aware of with homeowners insurance as well, is some homeowners insurance will not approve or will be very high depending on what kind of dog you own. So be aware of those things when you're filling out your applications.
Yeah, I did actually receive an email from my previous rental company saying that they were about to ban bull pit bulls, all kind of bulldogs. Like it's crazy. Like, and it's so sad too because that's when a lot of animals end up back in shelters and like people have to get rid of their dogs because I don't know, they don't want to move or it's difficult to find rentals that even accept pets these days. Like, and I don't know, in my opinion, kids tear up houses worse than dogs can. Sorry to people with kids out
Yeah.
there.
It's true. I mean, my dog did a pretty good number on some of the parts of my house, but at least half of it was also our fault for, throwing their toys inside the house. So it's not
Yeah.
all on them. But yeah, like I do understand sort of where they're coming from. And that's side tangent. That's one of the reasons we've seen a rise of like emotional support animals and things like that is because ADA law requires that even if you're a non-pet facility that so they're technically only supposed to be service dogs, but because of the way the laws are written, they're accepting emotional support animals as well, which again is a whole nother thing that I have an issue with. But it's super important that if you're going to go that route, make sure that your animal is trained.
Yeah. So when it comes to finding your ideal home, guys, it's crucial that you carefully evaluate all your options and closely examine your personal circumstances. If you're planning to stay in one place for a while, like over 2 years, then definitely see if you can get yourself to purchase because again, that building equity can long term uh, sustain you financially compared to just paying 100% interest in renting. But if you are not set on where you are currently, renting is totally cool too. But and if you're planning to move around or you like to move around, I've met a few people that enjoy moving around, so they just rent and then easily can can go. Um, Most leases though are a year. Like I haven't seen many, like in Arizona at least, there's not very many 6 months or monthly, month to month leases. So but a year flies by
Yeah.
and whatnot. And then for the renters out there, evaluate rental properties just as thoroughly as you would a home to purchase. Look for factors like the location, size, condition, and do your research. And for our home buyers, take the time to get pre-approved, understand that the ownership costs and explore the neighborhoods, make sure that they properly align with your vision.
Yep. Yeah, there's so often that people think that realtors are there to sell you a house. And the thing is, we're not there to sell you the house. We're there to assist you in finding the house that will work for you or that is your dream house. And then navigating all of the laws and contracts and pieces of the deal. So it's super important. I'm not saying you can't do it without a realtor, but it is a lot less stressful if you have a realtor on your side who knows what they're doing.
Yes, I've helped plenty of renters. Like we love helping them all. Like Rose said, is just getting them into that house that they'll be happy in, whether it's temporary or forever. I've had a lot of people so happy once they got into a rental that they wanted and um, whatnot. But definitely buying a house offers a lot more stability than renting because I've also helped clients get into rentals that had kind of shitty landlords and things like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, just weigh out your options, see how your life currently is, and go from there. And reach out to a
Yep.
realtor if you need help.
Yes. Yeah, I'm planning a major move next year, and that move would be really hard to fund if I had not bought a house and seen the property value go up.
Mhm. Yep, long term, guys.
Yep.
Long term thinking.
But what? Next week, we're going to talk about tips and tricks on how to avoid being scammed, whether it's for a rent a room type thing, a online job that's not a job, or even just ad bots saying that your account's getting shut down. How to spot those liars.